Ladies and gentlemen, we're back for round three of season six, but it's also our first broadcast of season six as we've been gone for a while. My name is Flying Sen. I'm joined by the commentary booth once again by my partner in crime, Philippines Minister of Defense, also known as Kenjek. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you very much. I'm doing well with my studies, and I think we're doing good in university.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute. It's been a hot minute. So yes, we're back. Hopefully we can have more consistent streams. Moving forward, I've been a bit busy the last few weeks.
Is that a
Kenjek's obviously
threat?
been very busy with no. Kenjake's been quite busy with uni work as well, so yeah, it's great to be back. And we're here at Sebring for the first time in Artito, probably the bumpiest track known to the entire universe. Like your eyes going to go through that. I could not imagine doing that IRL. My goodness. But yes, here we are. Qualifying's already begun, so let's.
I don't see the other drivers yet. I don't know why.
Why?
I don't know actually, but I guess.
Press drive, and then go back to pit, and it should. Press drive, go back to pit, and it should work.
No, I don't. I still don't see the drivers on my leaderboard here. Technical difficulties. I'll try the other leaderboard. Yeah, so we know that that leaderboard isn't good. It's gonna help us, so we're still using the old one. Yeah.
Well, sometimes old is best, so let's do that.
Oh, here we are in our new format. We're using the wider screen aspect ratio, ultra wide this time. So I hopefully everybody is will try to enjoy the scenery. And look at that, there's a lot of screen real estate now.
You're not streaming.
I am. What do you mean? Oh wait. Oh wait, hold on. It's been a while. There you are. There's a lot of screen real estate now.
Wow, that is wide.
That is wide. We have a wide boy now. So currently, Roger sets the fastest lap with the 2-minute 31.493, which the other drivers are now trying to beat.
Trust me, that's it's gonna be much. Pole position's gonna be much faster than that. But yeah, as you see, Roger's now going through this very technical section at Sebring. It is very bumpy now as he goes through this section just after Pangia, going up to turn 15, 16 at the end of this section. So
You know, I find it quite odd that this is the third round. When supposedly it's usually the first round in the IMSA WeatherTech series.
yes, correct, absolutely. So WEC as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Moment there, WEC as well, because WEC do their prologue here, I believe. So actually, no, IMSA start their season with the Daytona 24.
Oh, sorry, right,
So,
correct. Yeah, it's the WEC. Yeah, that is true.
Yeah,
My apologies there.
WEC start the season here, I believe. Yes, so
It's
it is
the-
definitely weird.
Oh my God, that isn't safe at all.
Oh, God. That's not ideal.
Oh, hear those V8 engines roar! My goodness me, I can barely hear you over the sound.
As Dom goes through turn 15 through this section, it's all about setting up the car perfectly for this exit onto the Allman straight, I believe is what it's called. So you just have to make sure you approach that corner as wide as possible, and you carry this momentum all the way down towards the final corner, where Kenjake, having driven on this track in the VRC Formula Alpha, you just hold your breath and you hope the car can stick. Oh, Tobolo nearly made it stick through there, but yeah, the car willing to rotate there for Tobolo as he goes across the line. I believe he's just starting a hot lap, and Kat goes into second place. I believe she was held up a bit behind.
Look at the bumps on that circuit. Wow. Oh,
Yeah,
somebody
welcome
just
to-
went wide through there.
Absolutely. Let's go on board with Safi Kat, because I believe she will be the odds-on favorite for this race here. She is very experienced around this racetrack.
Oh
so-
my God, I'm very sorry. I just crashed the game.
Oh dear. So
There's a lot.
it's been a while. Well, it's been a while, ladies and gentlemen. So hang 10. Oh yeah.
That wasn't ideal.
How did you manage to crash the game?
I just turned on the driver names, but then it went AWOL on me.
Oh, good. So currently, I've got the leaderboard up here, so it's fine. So Brad M at the moment currently on pole position with 49.8. Slushy Cat in the 150s. However, Slushy on this current lap has gone purple through sector 2. So let's see what sort of lap time she can put in. She has a clear track in front of her right now. Alex Dew is well further up down the road. So she's approaching turn number. I don't even know. I don't know this track that well apparently. So let's see where she ends up at the end of this lap. Phoenix is following her right behind.
I really cannot turn on driver names.
Yeah, that's fine. Don't worry about it. So
it's crashing the
Scooby
game.
now starting a hot. Yeah, Scooby now starting a hot lap going through turn 2, 3, 4 through this very tight and technical section with a series of left-handers, which then sets you up for the hairpin at turn 7. So he goes through there currently. Cat on this current lap is not at the pace. Like I'm looking at the sector times. She hasn't really been improving that much. So I wonder if she went back into the pits and is going back out there on the new set of tires. So currently Brad M on course to get a surprise pole position because honestly, judging by how this weekend has gone so far, I had that big Acura getting pole position, but 3 minutes ago anything can happen. But with these short qualifying sessions of 10 minutes, yeah, anything can happen.
Yes.
As it currently says, Tobolov is on pole position with a 51. I can guarantee you that is not the case. Though.
Yeah. It's going AWOL.
Yeah. So here we are with Slushy, currently in the black Acura, although she has a pink skin. I believe Kenjack has not downloaded the skin, so for Slushy, if she does go on to win the race, she will not have the sight of her pink Acura crossing the line in P1. But hey, as long as you get the big trophy, that's all that matters. But she's got a big race in front of her to make sure that happens. And as she goes through the hairpin now, through turn 7, onto Fangio now, setting it up for turn 10 and 11. And she's going to pull out the stop. She's only got 3 minutes, so yeah. Let's see what sort of lap times she gets.
Oh, Scooby sets the fastest lap now by 149.9. Oh, sorry. Was it? Is it? No, I don't think so.
He's a tenth behind. He's a tenth behind. But Slushy on this current lap has absolutely aced the first sector. She is 3/10 up on Brad M's first sector this time around. So now she's starting to really stretch the legs of that Acura as she goes into turn number 12, 13, and she'll line it up for the back straight, which is also known as the old man straight. Wow, a 43.1, another 2/10 on Brad M, and she's gone in the pits apparently according to ACSM. No, she hasn't. She's now going to line it up for the final corner at Sunset Bend. Let's see what she can do as she brings it around the final corner. Will this be pole position? Alex G goes fastest with a 49.5, but I believe that lap time will shortly be beaten by the Thai driver as she goes across the line with a 49.1, 4/10 on the rest of the field. Around 2 minutes to go, it's game on. The Slushy Cat finally gets a lap in with a 49.1. She's on pole position, but Alex not that far behind at the moment. And there's only been 5 drivers that have set a lap time so far, so it's very interesting to see at the moment. But yeah, only 5 drivers have set a lap time. Brad M has improved his lap time, I believe, and he's gone onto the front row because I believe Alex was up there shortly. But yeah, that lap time of 49.1 is going to take some beating, I believe.
Okay, so I'm just setting everything up now. It looks really nice with the wider screen.
So actually now we'll try to improve on her 49.1 and really try and secure pole position. And on this current lap, she has gone even faster through sector 1, 41.4 on a mission currently in that Acura, trying to set and seal this pole position.
Well, she has been practicing a lot.
Yeah, try and set and seal this pole position, make sure nobody can come close. Put herself in the best possible position strategy-wise as well. Not have to put herself in the midfield as she goes through this tricky section of 16, 17. We'll line it up for the back straight onto the old man straight. I believe this might be her final lap of qualifying. So let's see if she can put even more daylight on this final flying lap. She has improved even more. Purple sector 1, purple sector 2. She's 42.7 for the second sector. Absolutely flying as she goes into the final corner.
Oh, that's not gonna be confidence inspiring.
Yeah, she had a bit of traffic there on that attempt.
Still goes faster by 1.85. Yeah.
Second. Incredible pace, and she's done for qualifying. I tell you what, Ken Jake, I don't know if anyone's going to come close to that.
Exactly, but I won't count. I won't count the other drivers out still.
Yeah, let's go on board with Alex Judy defending. He didn't win the race. He did not win the race last weekend, but he was looking like the odds-on favorite before Slushy did the upset, I believe, because he was 2 seconds up on the field the whole weekend. That just proves to you that, hey, Cat can have pole, but you don't know. With racing, anything can happen. Can Alex Ju on this current lap try and at least put himself in the front row? And looking at the sector times at the moment, he's not gone through the first sector just yet. He's going to come up to us shortly as he heads down towards turn 7 and 8 as Alex now crosses the first sector. He's done a 41.9, half a second down on Slushy Cat in sector 1 alone.
Sorry about that for that momentary lapse of silence, but yes. I don't know what to say really, but how is it looking for these guys to run here?
Yeah, it looks pretty good. The track looks very bumpy. You can just see visually how bumpy the track is as Alex now brings it around for turn 16, 17. He will try and make sure he's made a mistake. He's made a crucial mistake. And that's probably going to set his fate for now. Let's go on board with Brad M to see if he can muster up something on this final flying lap and try and secure a pole position. But looking at the sector times, I don't believe that's going to be happening. Naf goes and improves on his lap time with a 49.8. Tobola will cross the line now shortly. Is he going to improve on his lap? Not particularly, but Alex, he ran wide. I don't think he's going to be improving on this lap. I believe Slushy Cat may have pole position. Yeah. Alex Chu crosses the line. Is he going to be improving on his current flying lap?
No, it doesn't look like it by the mistake that he did on the last sector.
Nope. Yeah, he would have absolutely had to have sent it if he improved on that lap time. So there it is. Qualifying is over. Slushy Cat on pole position. Brad M joins her on the front row. Alex and Brad only separated by 3/100ths of a second. So the second down to fifth is pretty close. But yeah.
What can I say? This track is like it's very innocent looking, but once you tried it, it's very, very hard to muscle around.
It is very difficult, and setting up the car here is an absolute nightmare. Like it's an absolute nightmare to set the car around here. Like you have to spend so much time on the suspension around this racetrack to make sure it works. Yeah. But yeah, there you go. Slushy Cat on pole position. Brad M will be on the front row. Alex Judy, championship leader, but I believe it's 17 points to the good currently in the championship in third place. So keep an eye out today with 37 points up for office. Slushy Cat's already got a point now in terms of the championship. You have an extra point now for pole position. So she starts to reel Alex in by 1 point after qualifying. Can she get the fastest lap? Can she get the race win and really reignite her championship battle after she was docked 15 points last weekend?
How about that? Our new, what would you call this? Our new HUD, our new GUI.
Yeah, it looks a bit like Gran Turismo, doesn't it? With this new HUD.
Yep.
So I suggest leave that towards the bottom right of the screen, maybe, just so it's not too clustered up. There you go. Yeah, just leave it there. There you go. And now just don't touch anything. It's fine. So Scooby, key thing to note there is it looks like Scooby qualified on the medium tire. So he's 1.2 seconds off on the medium tire. So I believe that's a pretty decent effort from Scooby, because if it wasn't for the mediums, he may have been up there on the front row. And being on the mediums, that gives him a bit of flexibility in the race, if that graphic is correct and to be trusted. So let's see what happens for Scooby from fourth place on the mediums. He will be under attack from Naf and Rogers, who we know those two are not afraid to get their elbows up when they come close. So it's definitely going to be interesting as there we go. Slushy Cat lines up on the inside of row 1 with Brad M alongside her in row 2. Scooby in third place there. And you've got Alex Dew as well in fourth. I believe the graphics are a bit wrong because Slushy Cat got pole. So it should be Slushy, Brad, Alex, and Scooby. So here we are, getting ready to go racing at Sebring for the first time in Artito, round 3, as we start to near towards the midpoint of this championship, and the championship picture slowly starting to take a bit of a twist, because after Slushy Cat's incredible performance last weekend, she was docked 15 points. She could well be leading this championship right now. So for the comeback for her begins at this very round, as the lights will now slowly start to go off. As we've got 4, 5, 6. Here we go, 2, 1. And it's lights out, and away we go at Sebring for the very first time. At least Cetus, the Brad M has got a good start. And is that Brad M around the outside? It is.
It looks
I believe
like
Brad M has got Brad has taken the lead. Or is that... No, I believe that's Slushy who's in the lead, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah. There's an
Rogers
incident
has
made.
gone around. Rogers has gone around. Unfortunate there. Let's go on board with the guys at the front. So it seems as though Brad M has got a dream start with Slushy Cat in second place. Alex will be in third. Let's go on board with Alex shortly, because he's putting a bit of pressure there. I think Scooby was collected in that little melee with Rogers as well.
Whoa! There was an
big sender from Alex, and he's big sender for Alex, and it has not worked out for him.
Probably.
Yeah, and a bit of an unsafe rejoin there as well. Wow, he got desperate. He knew that Cat probably had the pace. He had to make that move. So unfortunate there for Alex. Their championship leader has gone tumbling down the order. And oh my god, yeah, I don't know if he had to make that move. You know, on a weekend where it was quite obvious that Slushy had the pace, he could have been a lot more cautious. But now he's lost himself. Long way to go still, but yeah, he's lost crucial track position, and that's going to come back to bite him towards the end of the season if he can't recover. But let's go on board with Slushy Cat now, shall we? She's really starting to put the pressure on Brad M. Brad M has so far been able to resist the pressure from Slushy Cat. You know, I believe they were only a second apart at the start, at the exit of turn 1. So Brad M having a good start. And yes, we go into the sunset bend for the first time out of what I assume will be around 30 laps of racing this afternoon. Oh, Brad M with a big off. Oh dear. And that's Brad M probably hit the bump there, the nasty bump on the final corner, and that's going to give Slushy Cat the lead, and she's gone 3 seconds. Clean air. Good luck. And with her championship rival down the order in 7th, looking very, very good for her now to take maximum points this weekend. Yeah, wow.
Huge misfortunes for Brad M there.
Yeah, Brad M and Alex did not have to be that aggressive. Like, you need to play the calculated risks when it comes to winning championships. You know, you have to admit that some weekends maybe you just do not have the pace of your rival. As we see Scooby lining up a move here on the defending series champion Naf. Naf will go defensive into this corner here. Now he's going to try to hold all switcheroo, but he can't quite do it. Naf places that car absolutely perfectly. Tobolov now will try to use that slipstream. Can he get a move going into Fangio? Yeah, that is Scooby. Oh, Scooby's trying to go around the outside.
Oh, goodness me, not again.
Oh.
Pretty unfortunate day for Scooby here.
Yeah, second incident. This track bites if you make a mistake, and yeah, Alex is going to benefit from that. He's getting the place, but yeah, wow,
but
so
Tobolov
many mistakes.
As well, I think Tobolov
has made a mistake. Tobolov as well has made a mistake. Wow, Felix is up there on the podium.
Yes.
Incredible. So Tobolov now, I believe, is chasing down Alex there right now, and the graphic is to be trusted. So yeah, Tobolov now trying to line up a move at the all-man straight here going into the final corner. We've already seen how tricky it is. Brad M had demonstrated the very first time around that it is very, very difficult to go into the final corner. Even if you're leading the first car there, Cat goes fastest with a 50.6. Take that. That's some qualifying pace for some drivers. So yeah, you can just see how much you're having. You literally have to steer through your pedals through that final corner because of the bumps. It is ridiculous how bumpy that last corner is. But if you get it nailed, it is so satisfying, Kenjay.
Yeah, I haven't driven this version of the track just yet, but from the version that I'm already playing, I find it quite bumpy.
It is very, very bumpy. So yeah, Tovolo now starting to lose a bit of track to Alex. Remember, Alex was up there in third place in qualifying, so he should have the pace to those around him. So he will slowly start to chase after Naf. So let's keep an eye out on Alex this race because he needs to now really focus on damage limitation. Let's see if he can get back up to third place in his Acura and try and limit his damage to Slushy Cat this weekend. Like I said, Cat's already gained a point on him so far. It'll be very interesting to see where Alex can end up in this race.
It really is confidence inspiring once you have that clean air in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely, and especially with her, because she's got so much pace this afternoon that she can literally afford to drive at 95%. Everyone around her just seems to be falling off this afternoon. Like, they just don't seem comfortable at all with the track. This is one of those tracks where you really have to practice a lot, lap after lap after lap, non-stop, to really get the confidence because of how bumpy it is. I didn't drive this track for a few weeks and I came back to it trying to drive one of the LMH cars because I got my hand on the URD mod, and it was crazy how much I'd forgotten the track. I knew where I was going, but I forgot where the bumps were. So the bumps always kept catching me out. I was like, oh, there's a bump there. Like, I know where I'm going, but oh, there's a bump there. I need to stop trying to take that line. So yeah, very, very interesting track this. And honestly, the only track that I can think about that is this bumpy is probably the Nordschleife. Honestly, I believe the Nordschleife is the only other track.
I don't think so. Even I am much more confident to drive in the Nordschleife than Sebring.
Yeah, I said comes close, but I say beat it though. But I didn't say come very close either.
Probably I would like to put out well, I'd like to say Laguna, but that track is also smooth.
Yeah, no, Laguna's very smooth. Alex needs to stop overdriving the car at the moment. He's really overdriving the car. He just had the fastest lap. So fair play to him, but you can... Sandboard's quite smooth, I'd say. Don't you think?
No, I don't. For me, I don't feel like it's smooth enough. But
here we go.
There's action in front now with Brad M and Felix.
Yeah, so it's Felix up in... So Felix has found a way around Brad M doing all that. So, yeah, Felix up in second place. Great showing for the young Singaporean here, but Brad M, the other Singaporean driver in this field, will try to claim bragging rights for this part of the world, trying to make sure that Felix does not hold on to the second place very much longer. And Naf, defending series champion, hot on their heels, waiting to pounce if these two come with a bit of an off. While all that's been said, look at the gap. You can't even see Slushy Cat.
Yeah, she's gone. Practically running away with the race, and yeah, that grinding of practice.
Look at that! She's already at the final corner! Look at that! She's already at the final corner! You can't even see her on the TV screen while you're... It's incredible what's the pace she has at the moment. So, Slushy Cat now responds with a 50 flat.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. She saw Alex's fastest lap and she was like, alright.
Whoa. Felix just have a
Felix having a bit of a moment. Hang on. They're going to go 3 wide into turn number 1. Surely somebody yielded there. I believe Felix yielded, or I didn't know if he didn't have enough of an exit speed
Brad
there.
M here, though.
Brad M will go into turn 1, set sail, try to do the old slide job, and he makes it stick. So Brad M back into second, but Felix and Naf going side by side through these series of left-handers.
But that's scary. That's a lot of touching there. Lots of touching.
Oh, big send there. Big send there. Was that Felix who sent it?
Yeah,
down the inside.
Felix, yeah, what's a pretty nice slot in.
And look who's closing in. Alex is closed in. All of a sudden, Alex is nearly in second. Almost. He's up there. And Tomolo, he had an off. He's up in second as well, nearly. It's a 5-car battle for second place.
There's a lot of action going on in the mid-pack. While Tomolo...
Absolutely. Tomolo, the seasoned veteran, will try to line up a move going into this hairpin here. Can he make it stick? Not quite into Cunningham corner. Alex just has the line, has enough of a car advantage there. And as it seems as though Naf and Felix are going side by side through there. So you might want to cut on to that action again really shortly. So let's go on board with Naf. It seems as though at the moment he does seem to have the pace on Felix. Well, Brad M now is slowly starting to put a bit of margin between himself and this 5-car pack, which included him now, which is now becoming a 4-car pack. So
a bit too much curve for your liking there.
Yeah, well, clearly his setup can take it. So yeah, he seems quite comfortable taking the curbs through there. So as we now go down the old man straight once again into Sunset Bend. So Felix he's got a bit of a margin here, so he can afford to not really overdrive the final corner because he had a moment here at the previous lap. So he wants to make sure he doesn't do that again. So
Oh my God!
Felix,
Sunset Bend. Look at that. Look how much the car oscillates through there.
yeah, Felix seems so he likes a very wide line through there. The issue is it may be a safer line, but you lose a lot of time doing that. I believe it's the last corner is all about taking calculated risks. Oh, so you see Nap there having a bit of understeer there through turn one, as he goes into this 3, 4, 5, 6 section. And Felix now looking a bit comfortable, but this is where Nap was a lot quicker on the previous lap through this first sector. It seems as though Nap has the pace advantage through this first sector on Felix. So let's see if that comes into fruition. Let's go on board now with Alex as well. It seems as though Tobolov has made a bit of a mistake there because he's stuck behind Scooby as well. So Scooby's back up the field into 6th place. So
yeah, what can I say? Sorry.
These guys were making mistakes not that long ago, and they're already back up in the top 5. I guess that's what happens when you've got less than 10 people racing.
And aside from that, yes, it is different once you have the endurance format. Anything can happen in the space of 1 hour.
Yeah, so let's see what happens. So at the moment, it seems as though that is Alex heading this 3-car train, Scooby right behind him. Scooby once again just does not seem to have the luck in these league races, does he? So let's see what he can do, and if he can find a way past the Italian driver. As we go into 15 and 16, we'll line it up for Allman Straight once again. But it seems as though Alex has enough of an advantage. And
I think that was
a lot of curb. Naf had a bit of a moment there. So Sashi Cat once again doing a 50, incredible consistency as well from the Thai driver as she really starts to set the pace. As Naf weaving a bit to break the slipstream. As Alex, he sends it into that final corner. He needs to be careful. He's already sent it.
He's already sliding.
Yeah, he sent it once this afternoon already on Slushy Cat, going into the hairpin at turn 7, and it did not quite work out for him. So he needs to be careful sending it like that. Seems as though Tobolov is going for a bit of a move on Scooby going into turn number 1, but I believe Scooby had the overlap speed around the outside to shut that off. It seemed that the top had a bit of a nose there, but these are 2 seasoned veterans who will not put the car.
Scooby has just lost it again. 3rd time.
Yeah, I think Scooby had hit the bump at a wrong angle, and that's just oscillated the car. Rotten luck once again for the Indonesian driver.
Now I have a good technical question for you here. On a track like this where it's very bumpy,
Alex is gone.
Oh my goodness me! Everybody's just losing it. But going back to my question, does having a wheel on this track where it's very bumpy, does a wheel have a very big advantage for you to know where you can feel the bumps?
It's a double-edged sword. Yes, on one hand you will have. Hang on, hold that thought. It seems as I believe that was Felix. Nap got his elbows out, I believe, and it seems as though Tobolov has a speed overlap. Can he make it stick around the outside? Yes, he can. Oh my God!
Yeah, very brave through there.
Sashi Cat must be wondering where everyone has gone this afternoon.
Exactly. There's a lot of things going on right now.
And it seems as though Felix, Felix has had a series of poor corners. He needs to regroup. He needs to get back into that rhythm. But this is a racetrack that really bites once you get rid of the rhythm. So he needs to.
I think someone else was on the grass. I think it's Alex Ju once again. Yeah, he had an off once again.
Disaster.
Yeah.
Disastrous, and look how far back down he is right now. So yeah, while his championship rival runs up in first place with absolutely no one to challenge her, Alex, disastrous afternoon for him continues. So see what happens for him.
This must be a
Scooby once again. Scooby once again through turn 1.
Yeah, this must be a godsend for Slushy at the moment. But look at that, Scooby is really struggling for grip out there.
Yeah, oh my God. Somebody tell him it's not a rally race. Oh my God.
I want to say... I'd like to say... Sorry.
No, I was gonna say
Meanwhile,
he's saving a lot of money for the gardening team by mowing the grass for them. That's for sure. After doing that, so
yeah,
yeah,
I'd like to believe it's because of the medium tires. I don't think he's putting a lot of heat into it.
yeah. Is he on the mediums?
Yes,
The
he is
graphic
on
doesn't
the.
say what tire he's on.
Yeah, but on the
Yeah,
bottom it says he's running on the mediums. He's the sole runner on the mediums, actually.
Slushy Cat is 20 seconds ahead. Wow, she might win the race by a minute. You know.
Yeah, I think he can afford
We've,
to pause and slow down just to run the timer down.
We've had some dominant performances, Kendrick, in our time. We've had drivers like Melissa, we've had drivers like Alessio. We've had some very dominant drivers in the past.
Yeah,
This may be the most dominant performance we've seen by a driver.
I would like
ever.
to say it's gifted, but as a commentator, I want to keep it professional. But yes, it does feel the dominance is there.
You have to put personal differences aside, my friend. You know,
Exactly.
she put the work in. She put the work in. She's practicing the sweeping
that
rewards
is
right
very
now.
true. Yes, that
You
is
know?
very true.
She's completely running away with this race. Let's go on board with Tobolov. It seems as though as Brad M has
Brad,
pitted,
yes,
I believe.
yeah, exactly. Brad M is in the pits
Brad
at
M
the
has-
moment.
So Brad M doing a pit stop will try to get an undercut to those around him. So let's see. This outlap will be very crucial to see if he can get that undercut. So here we are now with Tobolov,
Which is
just
in
under
third
a
place
second
at the
behind
moment,
Nav.
yeah. He's in the podium.
So Tobolov, well, we'll start to set after Naf. I had Tobolov getting second in this race, and who knows, maybe that prediction can come into fruition in about 44 minutes time. So the wily old veteran once again, with the consistency, keeping himself in the hunt even after a series of mistakes.
He's getting ever so closer to Naf at the moment.
Yeah, I think he gained a tenth through that first sector, so yeah. It's it's a different pace of commentary, isn't it, Kendrick, now that we're doing an endurance race. Generally, when we commentate, it's a sprint race, action everywhere, but during these races, the action sort of dies down, so it's a bit of a different experience, isn't it, this afternoon for us as we commentate.
It's gonna be fine. It's gonna hit different once we start running 24-hour races.
We don't talk about that.
But I would love to participate in one, though.
Going back to your question once again before these two start squabbling very shortly, I do believe that the wheel and controller, they will all have different sorts of advantages and disadvantages. Yes, sure, on a wheel you have more feedback, but the amount of bumps you would feel through the steering wheel going on a track like this, especially on a direct drive wheel, it would be very fatiguing.
I think he's going
Naf's
down to the pits. Yeah,
Naf's going down the pits as well, so Tobolov will try to do a bit of an overcut. Yeah, 27 seconds now.
I think there's someone else who dive on the pits as well. No,
yeah,
sorry, no.
Naf is the only one in the pits at the moment, so Naf's gone for a bit of an undercut, so let's see what he can do and where he comes out in relation to Brad M. I'm looking at the sector times at the moment, so Naf did a 44.3 on that last leg. So it seems as though his tires were falling off. Slushy Cat is 8/10 up on this current lap, still with the worn tires.
28-second gap between Tob and Slushy. That's a very big gap once you tell me.
And we've still got 40 minutes of this race left. Wow. We may not see her until she crosses the finish line this afternoon.
Probably, but let's not give her all the
Commentators.
yeah, exactly.
Oh god. So yeah, Tobolov currently in second place, a Norwegian driver. It seems as though Alex now has gone into the pits as well. So Naf has rejoined ahead of Brad M. So Brad M's outlap was not ideal, to say the least. The tire wear, the tire fall off should be very, very strong around this racetrack. But it seems as though, but you also do have to remember that an overcut can also help you with these cars, because you're going to be running a much lighter car at the end of the stint as well. As Tobolov has a bit of a
Felix as well controlled it though, but yeah, that's a bit unfortunate for those two. But still, they're keeping it going.
They're keeping it on the track just about. So we haven't had any retirements yet this afternoon, which surprises my mind considering how many incidents we've had. It seems that Tobolov is getting ready to go into the pit lane. No, he's not. He's continuing.
But Felix is going in now for his pit
Felix
stop.
into the pit lane. Yep. So
And
it
as
seems
well
as
as
though
Scooby. Quite odd. Medium tires, and he's changing his tires already.
Yeah, Naf is on mediums as well. Alex is on medium. So I wonder if this safe strategy this afternoon is going to be soft, medium, medium. We'll keep an eye out on that with the strategy. But yeah, seems as though it doesn't matter. Slushy Cat can probably put on a set of wet tires this afternoon. She'll still win the race. She's that far ahead at the moment.
Yeah, 30-second gap in between Tobe and Slushy at the moment. That's a huge gap now. Oh, all that practice really paid off.
Yeah. Rogers is not here, is he? Oh, he's down in ninth. Wow. Rogers has put in a lot of practice this weekend as well, but it clearly shows that you can put in as much practice as you want, Kenjake, but you need to have racecraft, you need to have race IQ. And sadly for Rogers, once again, he's been caught up in an incident and he's down in ninth after all the practice he's put in.
I don't think you should count out pace as well. You need pace.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, unlucky for Rogers, down in ninth for him. And yeah, honestly, I believe today he was capable of getting a top 3. He had the pace, I believe.
Oh my god, Tobo just slides off again, just a bit on the curbs.
But on a track that promotes consistent driving lap after lap after lap, on a very technical track, Rogers sadly has not had that consistency so far. So Kenjake, do you believe that someone like him could really benefit working more, as I say that lane seems as though Tobolov is going into the pit lane, what I presume to be for medium tires and a full tank of fuel. Slushy Cat's in the pits as well, which I believe she's going to be doing the same. But yeah, Kenjake, back to the question, do you believe someone like him can really benefit from tuning up his race IQ and racecraft a bit? Because it seems as though Rogers is someone who hot laps a lot, but when it comes to races, he always has a bit of inconsistency in his racecraft and race IQ, and he's always running into incidents. I believe with the amount of practice he puts in, if he can be just willing to accept that sometimes maybe he can be a bit more cautious, he needs to work more on his consistency lap after lap, that he can be someone who's a pro driver. I really believe with the amount of practice he puts in, and he's got pretty decent one lap pace, if he can just tune up these mistakes.
I'll tell you what though, even though if you're knowledgeable already of what you're doing, I think you can still benefit from learning from the other drivers as well, because sometimes your technique doesn't really have the advantage for this kind of track or this kinds of battling or these kinds of cars, but having the knowledge gained from someone else is also a very big help, you know.
Absolutely. Like in Artito, we've got a big community here of nearly 3,000 drivers, and not a single driver is the best at everything. You know, different drivers are good at different categories, so there's always different things to learn around here.
I'll tell you what though,
you have to.
When I was still driving for the league races, I often talk to the other drivers on the practice sessions, the 1 week practice that we have, just learning about the things about the track, what I can improve and what they can give help to me. Because it's really hard to be faster on your own. You really need someone else to compare to.
Yeah, exactly. And you have to look at the lines they're taking, the gears they're taking, what sort of driving style they're taking into different corners. Like I was doing Monza earlier just now, and I'm someone who likes to really take I'm someone who likes to turn in, like get a bit of a V exit, and I was experimenting between hugging the inside at Lesmo 1 versus taking a wide apex at Lesmo 1. And having seen some hot laps from Rohe, I realized that, hang on, a late exit at Lesmo 1 is actually faster. You know, on the face of it, you wouldn't think that. But when you do it, it's like, it is faster. It doesn't feel like it, but it is faster. Even though the straight between Lesmo 1 and Lesmo 2 is not that long. It's only like 2 seconds of full throttle, 3 seconds of full throttle. So, yeah.
Wow.
Is
that legal, extending the track that long?
Honestly, I believe he lost time doing that. So,
yeah, but
it doesn't really matter.
I want to add as well to what you've said previously about hot lapping. Hot lapping is very different from actual racing.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're gonna gain a bit of knowledge about the track where you can go faster, but once you're battling and you start seeing cars everywhere, it's gonna affect you a lot. Racing
I
is
I
very
did
different from hot
I
lapping.
I used to do league racing, as you're aware, back in the day, and on F1, and we had a driver. Obviously, I won't say his name, but he was incredible on one lap pace, like absolutely like world record pace. But when it comes to racecraft and race IQ, unless he's up there with already a 20-30 second lead, if you put him in traffic, he's going to be running into incidents every day. That just showed, that was the first eye opener for me, because obviously, when I started sim racing, I was like 18 years old, and what happens when you drive at 18 years old? We're hot headed. Oh my god, Nat really extending that corner there. Um, so yeah, like you said, there will be situations where you will not have the pace on a particular track, or you do a pit stop and you come out in traffic, and not having that racecraft or race IQ to methodically make your way through the pack, that's going to come back to bite you, especially over the course of the championship. You don't win the championship in one race, you win the championship over a season, So there are a few drivers, obviously, I believe still, that do have to do a bit of racecraft and race IQ. As Tobolov as well runs wide. My goodness.
I remember doing the 2 hour race at Daytona where you told me that the qualifying lines is different from doing the racing lines that we usually run during the race.
Absolutely.
And it's
absolutely.
Driving at the 90%.
Yeah.
He saved it though. Wow. Brilliant car control from Tobolov there. But as I said, driving at 90% and 100% is far different.
Yeah, generally, like from my experience on F1, when I did league racing, is during races I would drive at around 90-95%. I would brake 20 meters earlier from my qualifying braking point, and then I'd modulate the throttle, modulate the brake coming off of it, and feel where the grip is. And then, because obviously, when the car is heavier, it's going to drive differently. And in a race where your tire wear is obviously a concern, you can't take long corners. Your line's going to have to be different. You're going to have to take lines that are shorter, so you're not putting as much energy through the tires as well. There's a lot of little things, bits and pieces. And those little bits, things and pieces are what separate the good drivers from the great drivers, in my opinion. You can see that the best drivers in league racing we have today, they have the ability to go fast, even at the end of the stint, being consistent.
Plus, here's the thing. You see, you're not gonna learn how to lift and coast and what lines you're supposed to take once you're hot lapping. That's really important once you start doing endurance races.
Good point. That is also a very good point. Stuff like lift and coasting stuff, and looking after the car as well is another big one. Knowing that, yes, you can, because in hot lapping, when you hot lap, you mess up and you drive at 100% straight away. In a race, you can't do that. You have to get back into the rhythm again.
Exactly.
You try doing 100% straight away, you will crash. In hot lapping, if you crash, there is no consequences. In a race, you crash, it's pretty much race over.
Yeah. Once you crash, or once you have a bit an off moment in racing, you have to find that rhythm as soon as possible. But you're not supposed to go at 100% in a snap.
Unless your name is Michael Schumacher in France all those years ago.
Yeah, but that's different though. Those are real drivers with real stigma.
Yeah, true that. I was watching that race a few months ago, I believe now, and it still blows my mind how he made that four-stopper work. Incredible, They came back to him on the radio saying, Michael, we need 30 qualifying laps, or 25 or 30 qualifying laps, one after the other. He didn't say a damn thing. He just got straight to business.
Yep.
And he made it work.
And I think
he overcut Alonso, and that was it.
I think that's how you're supposed to act once you're with a winning mentality. Is what I mean.
Yeah, but I mean, Rogers once again.
I think he just overbraked a bit there.
Yeah, he's overbraked himself going into Cunningham corner, and I believe that's Felix now.
Get out of the way, please.
Yeah, but he's okay there, I believe. So, yeah, Rogers is not having a good afternoon, hey, is he? So,
Felix as well is done by one lap from behind Rogers.
Yeah, I wonder what happened to Felix. I wonder if he had damage that caused him to go into the pits and get it repaired. It was a very long repair, and he's lost a lap. So,
there's a huge gap between everybody else. So yeah, not a lot of action at the moment. The closest gap that we have is against Brad M and Naf, who are fighting for second place.
Yeah, let's just stay on board. Let's just stay between these two drivers then. If there is a battle that comes into fruition.
We have 30 minutes more on the clock. And as it dips a bit on the grass there. Just a dip.
Yeah. Just letting the grass know, hey, I'm here. Yeah. I saw you were streaming Dirt Rally last night. How did that go?
It's fine. It's been a while since I've touched Dirt Rally as well, so I'm not as fast.
Can you still drive?
I'm not as fast as I am, but I feel much more consistent.
Damn, does that mean that gives Josh more bragging rights? Oh dear.
Let's not talk
about
I
don't like that. I don't like that.
The thing is, I've started to prioritize getting away cleaner instead of going faster.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
I think I'm just being much more mature driving now compared to what I was back then.
I was one thing I realized. Brad M with a massive lockup there, and that's not going to help him. That's Rogers behind him, who's a lap down, I believe. So he needs to be careful because we know Rogers doesn't mind getting his elbows out, but yeah, he's lost a bit of time to naff ahead. Where were we just now? Oh yeah. So one thing I did notice is I'm someone who likes a very understeery car, and I realized that maybe that was holding me back. And as much as flack I like to give Josh in a friendly manner, Josh is a really, really fast driver off-road, and I believe you know that as well. And we did a bit of dirt racing with 900 horsepower sprint cars, and I was trying his oversteering setups, and at first it was really frustrating because I kept spinning out all the time because I'm not someone who really is used to oversteering setups. But then doing lap after lap after lap, and obviously I can't drive his setup. It's just too oversteery for someone like me. The same way if I chuck him into my steer setup, it's just too understeery for him. But you learn slowly to adapt and live with that oversteer and make it work and go faster. And having been able to do that, I can now get to a point where, for example, I was going for a world record in NASCAR around Darlington, I believe. I was literally running one of the most oversteering setups you could probably imagine, with the brake bias all the way at the rear. And I made it work only because I put in the work before that to really try and make sure I can handle a bit more oversteer. Because I believe that I had a few more tenths in me, and that little setup niggle was what was holding me back. The same thing with F1. A few weeks ago, I was trying to go for another world record at Laguna, and I was using 55 brake balance. And I was like, 55, yeah, it's good, it's stable, but I need a bit more rotation. And back in the day, if I put my brake balance anywhere near 50, I couldn't live with it. But now, having done a lot of dirt racing, I can live with 50. So you need to, drivers really need to be willing to adapt. You'll see the best race car drivers have an ability to really adapt into whatever series they go to. We've seen that with Verstappen, we've seen that with Alonso, we've seen that even with Hamilton to an extent. Like, his junior career was incredible, and I believe he tested a NASCAR race car back in 2011 with a stick. I don't believe he's driven a stick in his car racing career. I may be wrong on that. And he was competitive, he was up there against Tony Stewart, who is a 3-time Cup Series champion. And he was doing pretty well up against him. They did a bit of a car swap, so it just shows that the best drivers... I remember
that car swap video back then.
Yeah. My point being that the best drivers... Oh my god! There. Is that Naf? That may be Naf.
No, it isn't. No. I'm trying to find...
Maybe Scoop.
Felix. It was Felix.
Felix was up there in second not that long ago, Kenjake. His disastrous afternoon continues.
Yeah.
It's a race of survival, unless your name is Slushy Cat, apparently.
It probably got up to him, but Naf and Brad Martins now dove into the pits for their final pit stop, I believe.
Maybe their final pit stop, yeah. Who knows? See what they do. So it's going to be battle of the pit crew to see who can get them out the fastest, but it's a virtual pit crew, so I believe that they will exit the pit lane at the exact same time as what they got in that. But yeah, Tobolo settling into second place, and look at that gap, 42 seconds, Kenjake, and we've just got under half the race to go. I know the top 2 and 3 pitted, but that is incredible.
Yeah, that is true, but wow, Slushy hasn't had a foot wrong on this whole time.
No, she hasn't. So she's doing consistent 1 minute 50s. And honestly, Alex Hughes up there, his best lap is a 50.4, 4/10 off. But Alex's consistency has just not been there this afternoon. Just not been there. And yeah, you need to be consistent, like we discussed, Kenjay. You need to be consistent to win a championship. And this afternoon, Kat is very much showing that she's a force to be reckoned with this season. She really is. And with some of our regulars not here, this is her best time to capitalize and try and nab a first championship. Yeah.
Well, she did definitely put out the hours there to practice, and I think she thoroughly deserves this race.
Yeah, when you put in that much effort into a race weekend, trying to make sure you get the W, yeah, thoroughly deserving. So let's see. We still got 25 minutes left on the clock, but it's gonna take a big old commentator's curse for her not to lift the virtual trophy this afternoon.
Here we go. So we still have about 25 minutes on the clock. That whole conversation just took us 5 minutes. Wow.
Yeah. So they're starting lap number 19 now, I believe. Sashikat may be starting lap number 20 shortly. So it seems as though we'll get. Oh, someone's gone straight off.
Yes. I don't know who that was. No, I think it
may have been. Was it Felix again? It may have been Felix again. You know.
Yeah, he went back to the pits now.
Oh my god.
I think a dream is over for him.
Yeah, I don't remember a race being quite this boring yet so entertaining with the amount of incidents we've had.
It's Sebring, but I don't think it's gonna be a sight to see for the next year's calendar.
Oh god almighty. I mean, for sprint, how would the sprint race format go here, you reckon?
I think here's the thing. I don't think I have the nerves to drive here for one whole hour. An hour here. Because the track is so demanding to the mental strength that you have. But
yeah,
doing this in a sprint race, I think is gonna be much more bigger issue than what we have in Monza.
Because of how aggressive people would be, especially at one. Like, wow. But it would definitely be interesting to see if we do come here next season, and if we do.
Grass there as Tobel rounds that corner.
Yeah. If we do come back here next weekend with GT3s, next season is GT3s again. I wonder how the GT3s would go around here. And would Kat still enjoy this dominant performance she has? Because Kat is someone who's done a lot of testing here with the LMDH cars, I believe. So with the GT3s being a whole different ballgame, you have to wonder if that opens up the playing field just a bit around this particular racetrack. So, sight remaining to be seen next season. But yeah, while all that's been happening, she's extended the gap to 45 seconds now.
I've driven with
and she will keep extending that gap to the drivers who just pitted, i.e., I believe Brad M and Naf, because she's running a much lighter car now. She must be doing pretty good fuel saving as well to be going this deep into the stint. She's doing fuel saving and she's still doing 150s comfortably without putting a foot wrong.
Yeah, wow. It's just the practice. It's all the muscle memory. She's on the rhythm. She's on the rhythm.
Yeah.
But as I was about to say, to answer your question, if how would the GT3 cars react? Well, I would say that I think it would be a much more comfortable ride compared to the DPI cars.
You reckon?
Yeah, because they have proper suspensions that can really stop the bumps. But still, it is a race car. It's still going to be stiff. But they're not gonna be as stiff as these cars that they're dealing with right now.
They would also have ABS, which would obviously help with the stopping power a lot of the corners as well around this racetrack. So, because at the moment, what you're having to do is, because of no ABS, obviously the DPIs, having driven them a bit myself, you know that you really don't have to worry about the brakes locking up too much. But you have to modulate the brake a lot to not lock up, but also make sure that the bumps don't throw you off. With the ABS being there, you don't have to worry about locking up. So all you have to worry about is just the bumps. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, that's going to be something that makes the whole experience a bit more seamless if we do come back here next weekend. So whether we do come back here again remains to be seen. But I do believe that Sebring has the potential to throw a banger of a sprint race weekend. That's for sure. Talking of sprint race weekend, Kenjake, we're going to Portimao next weekend for the sprint format. How do we feel about Portimao? First time there as well.
I've driven in Portimao using the Formula 1 cars and the LMDH cars.
Dude, how amazing is it when you go up the hill and you go back down the hill into the left-hander? God!
It definitely feels like a rally stage where the corners are unseen, especially when you're driving on the cockpit cam.
Yeah, and I believe Lewis Hamilton, when he did the pole lap, Hamilton didn't get pole in 2020. I think it was Bottas who got to the pole in 2020. But anyways, I believe Hamilton, after qualifying in 2020, said when you do that IRL, when you go up the hill and you go back down the hill, he could literally feel his stomach in his head because of the undulation. Like, it is incredible, the elevation change. So I've driven the F2004 around that racetrack. And yeah, it was an experience and a half. And I believe it's a great racetrack. And I believe it should be used more often. It's very disappointing that F1 is going to these gimmicky racetracks and we're not going to great racetracks like Portimao, Mugello. Like, I know they want to make money, but
I want to drop Miami off the calendar now. It's my personal opinion. I don't like the racing there. I don't like the track either.
I don't like the track. I think I don't have a problem with Vegas because Vegas, it's Vegas, and secondly, Vegas will have some sort of identity. Unlike last time where they raced at Caesar's Palace, they will race on the Las Vegas Strip, Kenjake. That has an identity, even though it may well be a boring race. But with Miami, it just feels so gimmicky and so forced. Like, it was kind of cringe watching it last weekend. So it was a good race. I'm someone who actually enjoyed that race because of the strategic battle and the midfield battle. But I agree. I believe that racetrack. I do like the first sector though, Kenjake, I'll be honest. The first sector is really, really fun. But once after that first sector, it's a disaster. Especially that slow middle sector when you go up under the bridge, where it's all one line. I don't know who thought that was a good idea, but that is horrible. It just kills any flow and momentum they have to that racetrack. So yeah, but sadly I believe Miami's here to stay.
I don't want to sound like a purist, but nowadays motorsport is just all about business instead of the actual passion for racing.
Absolutely, and that is why, Kenjake, I enjoy watching sports like WEC and VH Supercars, WRC, because it's not as commercialized as, say, F1 or NASCAR. They still have identity, WEC still go to their traditional racetracks. WEC are not going, all right, let's do a street track season or something like that. They're not throwing in street tracks. And that's because they're not as commercialized. MotoGP slowly are starting to get commercialized with these sprint race ideas, but still not too bad. F1 and NASCAR, on the other hand, because they are the two most popular motorsports. Yeah. Obviously they've got very smart people up at the helm at management, right? So what they will do is they're going to see this. Okay, we've got this hardcore fan base. How much revenue are they bringing in? Okay, cool. X revenue. Let's call it 1 million. Okay, what if we throw in street tracks? Those new fans will not know the identity of the sport. They don't know of tracks like Spa and Brazil, all those Interlagos, stuff like that.
Yeah, Tob is
into the pit lane.
Yep. Continue.
But yeah, so those new fans will not have the knowledge of F1 to say, all right, Spa, for example, has to stay. Like, you can't have an F1 calendar without Spa. So they're like, okay, we lose the hardcore fans, or some of them, but we make it up by doubling or tripling the amount of new fans who have the potential to stay much longer because they're most likely younger as well. So that's what fuels the decision as well, because Kenjake, most of us will think Miami is a bad track, but guess what? It was sold out once again this weekend. People will pay $300 for a salad. So, like, clearly there is still demand, and most of them do not know the sport, but people are willing to spend that sort of money.
Yeah, I'm not the one to hate on the new fans that they are gaining, but it's just some of the tracks just doesn't cut out for me.
No, I'm very. I'll be honest. I'm very excited for Vegas. This
I
year,
am
I will
too, actually,
definitely.
but I won't be watching it since the timeline is different from us.
May. It'll be a Saturday afternoon race for us.
It's Saturday afternoon.
Sunday afternoon. Sorry, my bad. It's a
Afternoon.
Saturday night race for
Oh,
them.
right. Yeah,
So
that is right. They're on the
I
West Coast. Yeah, sorry.
I believe the race will start around midday or just past midday, around that time for us on Sunday. So
Because
it's
it's
a
gonna
pretty
be
good
held on
timing.
night, right? It's gonna be held on night time.
Yes,
That's why. Okay,
yes, there
that's
we
why.
go.
There we go.
Yeah. So that's why I'm actually excited for Vegas. Like, you know what? It has some character. You know, Kota as well, great track. It's got some character.
Okay,
So
I have another track for you. What about Monaco? It's been there since history, and I think it's one of the tracks that would be likely to be replaced.
yeah. Look, I'll be honest. If I want to fall asleep very quickly, I'll watch a Monaco Grand Prix. But
The
I'm
prestige is there. It's one of the jewel
the
races of the Formula One
prestige.
calendar.
It's the prestige. Like I know Monaco's a boring track, and I know people want to get rid of it, but I just don't think you can, man. You know, first of all,
Monza as
all
well.
the F1, yeah, all the F1 drivers are living at Monaco. That's going to be a bit of a pull, you know, because they can generate interest on a daily basis living in Monaco for F1. Second of all, just that esteemed history that F1 has. Like, I don't think they can get rid of Monaco. I hate the race. Like, Kenjake, I'll be honest, Monaco, I probably won't even order takeaway. I'll probably make something at my home, like a nice little steak. I'm not going to be spending $60 on takeaway. But having said that, it's Monaco.
That is
Like, I know
yes.
for us as the fans, it's not the greatest experience, but you can ask any driver, as Nap has a bit of a moment there. Once again, saving the Sebring grass cutting team quite a bit of money by mowing the grass. And, he's done a lot of grass mowing there, hasn't he?
Yep.
Big moment, and he's gone into
Hold
the
on to that
gravel.
thought though. I just heard from Rage again. Rage just told me hello. It's been a while.
Hello,
It's
Ray.
been a while.
Yeah, sorry, it's not been the most exciting race this afternoon. So, yeah, clearly we've had a driver in a class of our own field this afternoon. But yeah, good afternoon, Rage, my fellow co-owner. Nice to have you on board this afternoon. Yeah, Kenjay, going back to that talk, we were talking about, what were we talking about again? My memory's not serving me well.
Cheeseburger. No, sorry. No.
We were talking about Monaco.
Yeah.
We were talking about Monaco. So yes, us as the fans, we would probably like it gone. But you have to wonder.
I wouldn't want it. I wouldn't want it gone, to be honest.
I wouldn't want. I wouldn't want it gone.
Change over time. I believe the track
Yeah.
has to change a bit to the modern
But
time.
Yeah, but then you run into the risk of 48.9. Incredible. Wow.
Quality pace right there.
Yeah. But the risk you run with that, Kenjake, is if you do change that track, it comes back to, okay, we're going down this path of,
Oh! Blue flags, please.
Rogers is, yeah.
He's still not lifting
Yeah.
off.
Yeah, he's trying to make sure he's alright. He's just making sure he doesn't lose enough time. Going back to the issue is if you change Monaco, trying to make it more modern, then you could argue that it's also almost as bad as going to another 90-degree corner street track, like, you know, the ones we have nowadays. Because then it's like saying, all right, let's edit Spa and some of the corners there just to make it more modern.
They did edit
But
Spa.
that-
They did edit Spa.
Yeah, but that's different. They did that for bike racing. It was for safety. They didn't actually change the corners, though. Not the core of the track. If you want to make the Monaco Grand Prix exciting, Kenjay, there's two ways. A, like you said, change the track, or B, change the format. And what's the problem with those two? You collide. You have a colliding thought of, okay, are we going for entertainment here, or are we going to keep the core value of the sport? That's the issue. Is yes, you can change the racetrack at Monaco, but you have to remember, Kenjay, the roads there are not that wide. You know?
Yeah, I know.
And
Casino section as well.
Yeah. And the second thing I think for F1 and what they'll be looking at is they will definitely be looking at what sort of numbers Vegas can generate, because Vegas on paper looks like a track better than F1, at least for racing. If Vegas can take the glitz and glamour of Monaco, you have to wonder, Kendrick, especially if they do want to capitalize on this American boom, would that race join Singapore and Monaco as one of the crown jewel races on the calendar? I don't know about that.
Las Vegas in itself has the title to be on par with Monaco. I'm not gonna lie with you.
Yeah, but as a driver, Kendrick, be honest. As a driver, the challenge of Monaco versus the challenge at Vegas is not the same. I've driven on both tracks.
It's not the same. It's really not gonna be the same.
So
Monaco is in Europe, all tight and twisty tracks, and Vegas we have long, wider, winding roads.
Absolutely. So yeah, we'll see what happens and how the Vegas races. And hey, who knows? That race may be on the calendar next season for us. Little wild card race. You never know. We do it all. So we'll see what happens along with that. But yeah, I do think Vegas would be a better race than Miami, especially because of that long straight and it having some sort of identity. But yeah. Anyways, back on that F1 thought. Back away from that F1 thought, rather. Trying to kill some time.
Yep.
We see Tomolo currently.
Yeah, still
48 seconds. Look at the gaps between everyone.
I know.
You got Tomolo in second, 48 seconds behind. You've got Brad M,
the track map on the top right corner. The gap is so wide for everybody.
Yeah. Incredible.
Is this racing or track day? I don't know.
It definitely feels like a track day this afternoon, that's for sure. The only driver that probably has not had any incidents, unsurprisingly, is probably the driver in first place. She's 10 minutes away from securing what I would like to say is her... Yeah, I believe it will be her 4th win here at Artito.
Wow.
And definitely a very big win. Alex is going to try and reel in Brad M here. Try and get this final spot on the podium. See if he can get Brad M an extra 3 points. And you have to wonder, Kendrick, if he does not get close enough to Brad M to make that overtake, if he has enough of a gap behind him to take new tyres and get a fastest lap and get an extra point, I believe he should do that if he thinks he has the pace. I believe he does have the pace to get fastest lap on a brand spanking new soft tyre and limit his damage even more to Slushy Cat, because that is, as it stands at the moment, Slushy Cat will be gaining, I believe, 40 points this weekend, and Alex will get, I believe, how much is it for 4th place? Let's have a look.
Be honest with you. I'll be honest with you. 148.9 is gonna be very hard to take.
Very hard to beat. So yeah, so 38 points for 1st place, and 4th place gets 18. So at the moment, Slushy Cat is on course to get 40 points, and Alex is on course to get 18 points, 22 point swing. You know what that means, Kendrick? At the end of this race, even after that 15-second time penalty, we will have a 15-second point penalty rather for Slushy Cat in the last race. We will have a new championship leader.
Wow. Even with the penalty.
Yep,
she's very dominant this week.
Yeah, 17 points at the start.
She made sure she's clear.
Yeah. So this will be her 3rd. Let's not forget, Kendrick, she did the double last week. This will be her 3rd win in a row.
Wow. So since the start of the season, she has been winning and winning.
Yeah, absolutely. Alex definitely was the early championship favorite. He was in a class of the field at Le Mans along with Raven. Raven's not been able to join us since that weekend. Alex was the odds-on favorite at Monza, Kendrick, before...
She's not... right in front is not yielding at all. That's gonna be tough for Tobin up there. As he rounds Sunset Bend.
I don't think... but I mean, knowing him, he can afford to be patient. He's got such a big gap behind him.
Yeah, but still no yield from the driver in front, but there you go. Yeah, only in the paint straight.
51 seconds. Wow.
Can she manage a 1 minute gap after this whole race?
Remains to be seen. I believe there is only, I would like to say 4 laps left, including this one. So maybe she would have to gain around 2 seconds a lap, which is not out of the question, because she's had that much pace. Let's go on the lifetime to see. pole position, led every lap, fastest lap, race win, almost by a minute, which is what she's on course to do, Kendrick. So yeah, we've had the era of Ballista, we've had some dominant performances, but
This is something else, though.
this has been something else.
This is insane. And mind you,
Incredible.
this gal is using a controller, so yeah, anything is possible at this point.
Yeah, he is on the controller. Wow. So her last lap, Kendrick, was a 50.3, while Tobula behind was doing a 52.4. So that's a 2-second difference. Not out of the question.
Where's the pace? Where did she get the pace from?
You have to wonder though, in the position she's in, is it really worth it? I don't think so.
I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna use a Sebastian quote for this: "Is satisfaction and bragging rights."
Girl said, yeah, you're not wrong. So let's see if she does try to extend that gap to a minute. So yeah, we'll see what happens. So
okay, I got a question for you then.
Yes.
Do you believe that Sebastian Vettel is a very fast driver?
Of course, I mean, yeah, of course. He's a 4-time world champion with God knows how many pole position race wins. Yeah, definitely. I believe, Kendrick, that if you gave all the greats a car that suited their driving style the most, I think Vettel would be up there, definitely, as probably the fastest driver ever. Like, his dominance was something else. But it's not common in F1 to always get a car that is 100% suited to your liking, it just doesn't happen. So that's where I believe the drivers like Schumacher, Hamilton, maybe Verstappen as well. The reason why I say maybe Verstappen, because he has not quite gotten to a different team yet. Hamilton and Schumacher have done it at 2 different teams. He's been at Red Bull his whole career.
I'll tell you what though, the car from 2016 and up to now, it did significantly change. So yeah, there's still a factor of changing.
Yeah, but yeah, sure, the car changed, but the core DNA of how the car handles has not. The core DNA of how he wants the car has not.
I would like to say it did change a bit, at least.
Yeah, no, definitely the rules changed a bit. No, the rules changed a bit, but the Red Bull has always been a car that's had ridiculous rate. The car's always been very oversteery, right on the nose. So the core value of the car has not changed. The only way you drive it has changed. So if he does go to a place like Ferrari or Mercedes, how would he adapt to their car? That remains to be seen. But my point being that drivers like Schumacher, Hamilton, Prost, Senna as well. Like, I know Senna only went to, but Senna nearly won in a Toleman. He was, we know what happened with Williams with those few races.
Then he won,
and he was dominant in McLaren.
And McLaren as well.
Yeah,
and Williams as well. He was somewhat dominant.
He didn't win a race. He didn't win a race, sadly, but I believe he got 3 pole positions in the first 3 races or something like
exactly.
that. I don't know.
He's still fast with the Williams car.
So yeah, he is someone also who could adapt to the situation. So
not to mention the NSX.
Yeah, that's a very good clip, isn't it?
Yeah,
seeing him in a pair of loafers, just driving around casually with sunglasses and jeans.
I'll tell you what though, that NSX isn't a car where you can give to a new driver. That thing is very hard to control.
Yeah, very is.
He drives it as if it's sticking like a GT3 car.
I mean, going back to that thought, Kendra, she can afford to back off.
Yeah.
This lap, and this can be her final lap. So, knowing her, she probably won't do it.
Yeah, satisfaction and bragging rights.
She's opened up the gap to 54 seconds right now. So she's like, nope, I am not doing this. And at this current lap, it seems as though she has no intention. But
and she's having fun. I believe she's having fun.
Yeah. Somebody tell her that the race is about to end. She must be so in the zone. So no, definitely great to see her performing well, and we've got a championship fight, Kenjay, because I know she's had a dominant weekend this time out, but Alex has been the fastest driver 2 out of the 3 weekends so far, and I believe odds-on favorite for this weekend was her at the start of the week. She's had so much practice here. I raced against Kat at this racetrack, and I beat her with the F1 car, but we don't talk about that. But she was very quick with the LMDH cars, so I know what she's capable of. And it's not a surprise to me that, she's doing the goods here. And she is about a minute away.
There's the first mistake from Slushy Cat. There we go. There it is.
Oh dear.
The first mistake.
Oh dear. So she's lucky she's got a big lead.
Yeah. She just clipped a bit of that huge curve that we have.
Yeah, 50 seconds on the clock. If I were her, I'd honestly let it run out.
I would be slowing down at this point.
Like you're already out of the rhythm. Is there any point like going a lap with potentially a damaged car? Remains to be seen, but it seems as though she's still pushing on. So
slow down. 30 seconds left. Just slow down for peep's sake. Come on.
Kendrick, I believe she's a born race car driver. She is a sim racer. I don't think she knows the meaning of slowing down. So there you go. We've seen one mistake from her, but she's apparently still
10 seconds. Just slow down. Slow down.
Not a chance. We go on to the final lap here at Sebring.
One more lap.
Slushy Cat starts her final lap as she goes into turn number 1. A bit off on the penultimate lap, but she's still 40 seconds to the good as she brings it through this 3, 4, 5, 6 section. Incredible drive, Kendrick. Honestly, even with that mistake, 42 seconds up the road, this has to be the most dominant performance I've ever seen in Artito racing. And we've had some very, very dominant drivers in the past. And yeah, what a drive this out. On a day where almost everybody, including the seasoned veterans, has seemed to have fallen off a cliff. She has kept it calm. She's kept it clean. She's made a mistake herself, but her pace has more than compensated for that little mistake she made. Yeah. And as she now goes into turn number, I believe it's the hairpin at turn number 7. Oh, sorry, Fangio, turn 10, rather, my bad. So
Cunningham.
And she'll bring it out through Collier. Yeah, so yeah, what can I say, Kenjay? Pretty much a flawless drive, and even with that little off, it has been a dominant performance. Pole position, fastest lap, every lap led, race win shortly by 40 plus seconds in a 1 hour race.
She
Absolutely
did have a perfect
incredible
weekend. Pole and the race win.
Yeah, and fastest lap and every lap. She's led start to finish. And on a day where pit stops were mandatory and you had to make 2 pit stops, she's going to lead every lap. She's had the strategy. She's nailed everything. And you can already see she's weaving across to celebrate. And honestly, you can't blame her. What a drive this has been.
Yes.
From the young girl from Thailand, as she will bring it around Sunset Bend for the final time here at Sebring. A dominant performance and sending a message to Alex that, hey, I'm here. The championship is very much on.
Somebody's
and
on
for the third time in a row, Slushy Cat wins here for round 3, season 6. She takes the championship lead and she absolutely crushes the opposition this afternoon. What a drive!
There you go.
Well deserved.
She is to what I would refer to as an addict.
What a drive. Absolutely brilliant. Tobolai, once again, the seasoned veteran, will bring it home for second place. It seems as though Alex has got into the pit lane. So I don't know what's happening there. But
she does drive fast, but she doesn't know how to do donuts properly.
I'd rather know how to drive fast and do donuts, and that's for sure.
It's something that
it seems as though
keep winning.
Tobolo will be crossing the line shortly to take second place. 43 seconds. Wow. And it seems as though Brad M
still has to round the whole track first.
Yeah, Brad M is still going to have to do the whole lap. So Alex is in the pits. I wonder if he was a lap down when he finished the race. Scooby's in the pits as well. But yeah, what a race.
Yep.
3 in a row for Slushy Cat. Championship lead as well. She's still doing donuts. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, though I would not refer to that as donuts. Come on, the proper donuts.
To be fair, these cars are pretty good with traction, so it's pretty hard to do donuts on these cars.
I would beg to differ. Would you like me to call Ryan to show you how to do proper donuts on this car? We don't talk about that.
Yeah. And with that, Kenjake, wow. That is round 3 of season 6. Thanks to everyone who joined us.
Where was round 1 and
Any
2
final
though?
closing thoughts?
Where was
We
round
don't
1
talk
and
about
2?
what happened. Yeah. Kenjak, that's a question for you, actually.
I was busy
That's a
doing
question for you.
buildings.
We all better get a free. We better get an invite to that building once it's done. For missing out on the broadcast of all those
Hopefully,
weeks.
yeah, that is true. Hopefully I graduate as early as I could.
All right, Kenjak, let's round it up. So, any final closing thoughts as Rogers eats the wall at the turn 1 at the end of the race?
Yeah. Closing thoughts. Well, it might have been a boring race, but we saw the dominance that Slushy did, and that dominance didn't came out of nowhere. The practice was there. She really did. She really did know how to drive the whole track. And Tobulov as well kept his nose clean even with those incidents.
My instructor, flight school instructor, had this great saying: "It's a rule of 5 P's. Prior preparation prevents poor performance, and the 6-word version is prior performance prevents piss poor performance." So clearly, the preparation she put in prior to this weekend definitely paid off. Everyone else around her seemed to have fallen off a cliff. And look at that fastest lap from her, 48.9. That was some people's qualifying laps.
Yeah, exactly.
I believe no one else apart from her did that lap time qualifying. I may be wrong, but yeah.
I think she's the only one who touched 148.
Yeah, so yeah, Kendrick, thanks for joining me for this weekend.
I'm glad to be
see
back,
you in
not gonna
Portimao.
lie. Yeah.
We'll be back in Portimao. Yeah, hopefully it'll be a sprint race next weekend. So obviously it's gonna be a bit more drama, a bit more action. New racetrack once again. And Kendrick, I'll be honest with you, I'm very excited for Portimao. It's a great racetrack. We've both driven on it. And yeah, bring it on. But that's gonna be it from us for this weekend. Thanks to everyone who has watched it or will watch it, and we'll see you again next week.
Yeah, I want to say hello to Rage first. Hi, Rage. I'm back.
Hey, Rage. All right.
That's it.
See you guys next week.
Yeah, that's it from us.